Comic Book Club. Tonight's guests, Bill Hader, Steve Wacker, and with your host, Alex Albert, Justin Tyler, and Pete LePage.
Good evening.
Hey guys, welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I am Pete.
And that's our man of the
Yeah.
Booth Man.
Woo Man.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm very excited about the show, and I'm very excited about the guests that we have tonight. One is an editor for Marvel Comics. You know his work on Amazing Spider-Man, The Punisher, Daredevil, and more. The other is on Saturday Night Live and has been in a billion movies. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Wacker and Bill Hader.
Yeah. Have a seat.
Hello. Sit down.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about comics a little bit. So we were also chatting before the show. You were saying that you've really gotten not just back into comics, but even more so into comics because of digital stuff and because of the iPad, right?
Yeah, totally. Me and Seth Meyers have gotten pretty much the entire writing staff at SNL into comic books because of the iPad thing. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. Like, we're just like, because there's like no excuse. You know what I mean? It's like just there. You're like, oh, cool. There's a new lock and key. It's like, oh, right here. You know, it's like, and now it's really cool. Like, everybody's talking about it, and you know, it becomes like, now it's like part of our, like, when we do rewrites and, you know, we have our Monday kind of, you know, pitch meeting, it becomes kind of part of it now. It used to be like, you know, you talk about like what movies you've seen, what TV shows, and now we're like, hey, did anybody read the new Batman thing? You know what I mean? It becomes now part of that, you know?
I know you have 3 Hawkeye sketches on this week's episode, right?
Yeah, we do.
It's intense.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Tried to get a sweet tooth one in, didn't really work out.
We were talking about this the last time you were on the show. Has there been any progress in like really getting nerd stuff into SNL and comic book stuff in there?
No.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
No.
hard to blame him.
You look at, I mean, our audience isn't necessarily, you know, the demographic for it sometimes. Our actual live audience. It's like you go out to the live audience, and a lot of times you're kind of like, oh yeah, it's like my parents' friends. You know, and it's like a Hawkeye sketch is not gonna fly.
Now, you guys worked on a comic book together a couple of years ago called The Short Halloween. Could you talk about that a little bit?
With Seth Meyers, and Mr. Kevin McGuire, who's here.
A secret special guest. Yeah, but we met at I think a Christmas party that Marvel had put on.
Yeah, it's
and we
true.
started talking, had a quick lunch.
Yeah, and then Seth and I wrote.
Lunch?
Yeah, when Seth and I wrote this. It was a walking lunch.
Who's got the time?
It was a walking lunch.
Short Halloween?
Yeah. So and then most of that, my part of that was written while I was playing George Custer in Night at the Museum 2. So I was dressed as George Custer in Vancouver in a little trailer with my laptop.
Which is
writing
also
a
how
Spider-Man comic.
Wade writes Daredevil in the same way. So.
Let's talk about some of the books that you're working on now, Steve. So you have a lot of stuff that you're working on. You right now you're in the middle of the Omega Effect crossover. For those who don't know about that, what's going on there?
It's a 3-part crossover with Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Punisher, where Daredevil has the MacGuffin is Daredevil has this device that has the secrets of the Marvel Universe on it. And he's trying to escape the mega crime families, Hydra and AIM, and all these high-powered criminal families. And the Punisher and Spider-Man, before he gives up the device, they decide to have one night where they take down all these criminals. So that's going on right now. And we've sold out of the first 2 parts and go back to second print, and it's going really well.
Yeah. You've been a really big proponent of pushing street level at Marvel.
As you
Why
can
is
see...
Yeah.
No one is more
working.
street.
You're straight.
I was a little worried you guys were maybe a gang.
I speak the language of the people.
Nothing says street like a button down.
Yeah. You hold your mic like a real gang member.
I should hold it sideways.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Liberace or like I'm on the Mike Douglas
street,
show.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
tell me about it.
I think it's more that I lord over the solo character books, who inevitably work the street. But we've had books. I got Scarlet Spider that takes place in Houston. We had Moon Knight, which is in L.A. So
Yeah, but it's the streets of Houston. It's the streets
the
of LA.
streets of
There are
Houston.
streets everywhere. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You can take that book almost anywhere.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but there are streets everywhere. That's good.
All your books are connected, bro.
So yeah, it's those solo characters, and we got a new Hawkeye book coming out, and Captain Marvel, of course. Yeah.
Comedy book.
Hawkeye's
Funny
in
book.
all the other comics.
Goof book for Hawkeye. What the?
You also have Captain Marvel is coming up, right?
That's
Which
right.
you've been very excited about, I hear.
Yeah, Captain Marvel is Ms. Marvel. We've changed the name. We've covered her ass. And
Interesting choice.
I used to edit the book years ago, and I tried very hard to change the name then, but we couldn't because of various movie things and things going on. But this time, with Axel's help and Tom Brevoort's help, we got the change through. Joe was a big proponent, so now Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel. We're really hitting the idea that she's a pilot. I'm not into an insecure Captain Marvel. She's been written very insecure in the past, and she's this beautiful blonde woman who can fly and shoot contrivance beams out of her hands. I don't imagine she's insecure for a moment.
What's a contrivance beam?
You know, her beams, I've looked, they just came out of nowhere. Like, she shoots beams out of her hands.
So she contrives them? Is what you're
They
saying?
burn. It's like a very 70s comic book thing. Everybody can shoot beams out of their hands, and you don't know what they do. Sometimes they blow people back. Sometimes they explode things.
Sometimes they disintegrate things.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, of all the powers I hoped to have as a kid, shooting beams out of my hands was like the number one.
The best.
Yeah, well, I'd
definitely
stand there
the
always
best.
and be like, I can kind of feel it.
Yeah. See, I was
Right
the opposite.
now, actually, I could almost
when I
feel
would be
it.
walking home from school, I would stop and then I would jump in the air hoping I would fly.
What happened next?
Landed. More often than not, I landed.
What was the number one superpower you guys imagined you have as kids?
No, I did the flying thing a lot. When no one was around, I would
I did it
look.
at crowds of bullies. It's terrible idea. It's horribly beaten.
Guys,
Yeah.
I think we're going to move on with our next section, which we like to call the stack. All right. Deal with the stack is we have each made a pick, some particular comic book that we liked this week, and we're going to go to bat for it. We'll do Pete's pick first, which is Wonder Woman number 8 from DC Comics. I'll pass it to you guys. Pete, what'd you like about this book?
Oh man, spoiler guys, Wonder Woman dies.
Yeah.
It's all over.
You can look at it. You don't have to show it off.
Oh, I thought it was like the price is right,
Yeah.
kind of like.
Yeah, you're here to work. You're here to work.
you're the-
Wacker.
Vanna White.
You're actually the pretty one on stage right now.
Oh yeah, there she is. She's dead.
Yep.
No, this DC comic is incredibly racist. I wouldn't buy this if I were
Nice.
Wow. Jesus.
So speak
Yeah.
to the racism.
So yeah, I'm not going to speak to the racism.
That makes you racist.
No, I don't think this comic is racist.
Wow.
A racist would say that.
yeah.
All right.
you. What's that say about you, pal?
Yeah, I
You're
guess
a
so.
monster.
Anyways, this comic, since the relaunch, has really been amazing. I love the way Wonder Woman is drawn, and I feel like they do a good job of putting her in kind of new, cool adventures and making it fresh. And I feel like when she got shot, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How's she going to get out of this one, guys?
Shit.
I don't know how she's going to do it.
This is a great book. Definitely pick it up. Let's move on with Justin's pick, which was The Punisher, number 10.
Right.
I love this crossover, and like I would have chosen this whether or not you were here, Steve. So don't like be weird about this. But I feel like this is a
I
classic.
wouldn't have.
Yeah, no, Pete, the biggest Punisher fan like around
In the world.
In the world, like he's a he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Loves the Punisher. He's a little bit down on the Punisher, and I think we want to have a little head-to-head, a tete-a-tete here.
Wow, that's a real setup. I just, big fan of the Punisher, but then drawing him like a 16-year-old boy anime styles is a little weird for me.
Anime style.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anime?
No, he hasn't.
We did. Marco Cacchetto, the artist, did make a choice with this book to stop drawing Frank as 65 years old.
Right.
Give him a little more.
Not a lot of
Because all
65-year-old men
the
reading
chase
Punisher.
scenes with the wheelchair and the walker was tough.
Right.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, we wanted to youth him up without saying anything about it. We just sort of hit the ground running with.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is really great as well. I disagree with Pete on this. I think the art is great in this, and one of the things that really sucked me in about it, I haven't been a big Punisher fan, and I really enjoy the series a lot. It's dark and gritty, but in just the right way, with a good deal of emotion at the same time.
I was gonna say I was never a huge Punisher fan either. I love Garth's run. And,
Amazing.
it's one of the best.
Jason Aaron's run on Punisher Max is phenomenal.
Yeah, those are some of the best stories.
I know that Jason Aaron.
I know
Scalps.
that.
I like that.
I know.
Scalps.
Scalps, great book.
That's a good book.
So this sort of solved that for me. Great. A big part of the Punisher comics for years have been he keeps a running journal of everything that goes on in his life, and he's like a teenage girl.
He's journaling.
He's just talking about everything.
Yeah.
He's journaling.
He is journaling a lot.
Yeah, he
He's
constantly.
more journaling.
And I just couldn't
journal.
believe
Yeah.
that a guy. I just had
Got a
trouble.
Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Trouble with the guy that was in the stories, imagining him sitting down. All right, let me just relax at the end of the day.
Where's my heart-shaped key
Here's
for this
what I
lock?
did
I
today.
can't quite find it.
So what Greg has tried to do is to get us out of the Punisher's head a little bit, and it's more about the people reacting to
I
him.
would almost like to see that. Dear Diary, I ripped a man's guts out through
That was-
his stomach, and then
Does he like me? All right, let's move on with the last pick, which is my pick, which is The Sixth Gun, number 21. Oh, my
Yeah, the
God.
writer of Six Gun is
Just
here.
a fan of Alex.
Ah!
Yeah.
Sixth Gun, number 21 from Oni Press. This is a great, fantastic book if you're not reading it. It's a superb mix of Western gunfighting and horror. This issue, what I thought was particularly cool about it, it's entirely silent. I mean, that's a device we've seen a lot of times before, but I thought they used it really well. It's really blocked out well in terms of the action. And even if you've never read the book before, I really think you can actually jump in with almost any issue here because the characters are so clear and what's going on is so much fun. What'd you guys think about this
Well,
book?
I tell you what, I could have used some words.
Yeah, because I was
coulda-
like, who are these people? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Why do they keep switching hats? They keep
yeah,
shooting
and
each
then
other.
what's with all the guns?
There's a bunch of-
and-
2 against 1.
Yeah. Boom.
Fight.
Well, I just didn't know. Like, there are no words. And then so you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like a comic book is
But
about...
it is powerful. The
No,
way-
no, I want to hear what a comic book is about.
What's a good example of wordless? What's like the best version of the wordless?
the wordless comic?
I like the Reptile series. That was really.
Oh, that was very good by Joe Kubert.
Do you guys have a favorite silent comic book?
Oh my God, there's a million of them.
I feel like it's like a lot of comics do it as like a special issue.
The Snake Eyes. One
Yeah, everybody
that was-
loves that Snake Eyes one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I hate G.I. Joe, so
Oh wow.
fuck that.
Ooh.
I'll
You
say it. I don't
guys-
care.
Wow.
You guys are never going to be friends.
Yeah. Wait, you've always hated G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
See, I was never allowed to
Even
watch
the
it.
cartoon as a kid. You
I hated the cartoon.
What the?
I don't care. Boom it.
I can't say I was a big fan of it. I liked
Yeah.
it when that
Go, let's
guy
see Bill-
overdubbed the
Boo Bill
PSAs.
Yeah.
I like when that guy overdubbed the PSAs a couple years ago. Those were funny.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, even the PSAs when I was a kid, I
the
always was
bottom
like,
side.
that was the
Yeah,
most
that was
interesting.
Who wants the bottom? The bottom side machine gun. Bottom side. That was hilarious. Eric Fensler, was that his name? Oh my God. Get the fuck off my fucking lawn. Get off my eyes. Yeah. That was so funny.
That's, yeah.
Pork chop sandwiches. Yeah.
Let's just do this for the rest of the show. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah, that was funny, man.
Not a
I think
compliment.
that's it for the
Not a
stat.
compliment.
All right,
You
guys.
are the engine.
Yeah.
Keeping it moving.
Yeah, we got to keep it moving. Guys, let's move on with the next section, which is my favorite section, because you guys make it up. It's your audience questions. And for that, we're going to go over to Boothman.
What's
What
up,
do you got
everyone?
for us today, Boothman?
Some questions.
Good.
Great. So this question is for Bill, but you, Steve, can kind of.
You can sneak.
I'll answer for Bill.
Okay, and it's from Chris D from somewhere.
Good.
When are we getting a follow-up to the short Halloween?
Oh man. Well, we never.
It's almost
had-
like I asked that question myself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, it's just when me and Seth have the time to figure out. We actually didn't have another follow-up to Short Halloween. We had a Daredevil idea. Yeah, we have a Daredevil idea that actually it's like outline. We just have to write it. So that'll happen, Steve.
All right.
Wow.
Kevin?
We'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the medium-sized Easter?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Someone had to say it. Someone had to say it.
Let's get the next question, please, Boothman.
Okay, this is
Keeping it
from
moving.
this is from Pablo Escobar from South America.
Dead.
Big fan of the show.
Justice League versus Doom Patrol. Who wins?
Oh, definitely the Justice League.
Justice League, right?
I would say so.
Doom
I'm
Patrol.
gonna go with you guys.
I would prefer Doom Patrol 1 though.
Wait, are you
Yeah,
saying
me
we
too.
would win in that fight if we were like bystanders? If we were
No,
like
I
through
think we'd all die. Right? Keep
Let's
it
get
real.
the
Next
question.
question. Yeah.
Okay, good.
What comic book character is most ripe for parodying? And this is from Jordan from Forest Hills.
Ripe for parody. All of them? Is that a fair?
Yeah,
answer?
not all
I
of
think
them.
it's all of them.
And anything with a cape is.
That's it for your audience questions. All right, guys, we're going to move on with our next section, which we like to call the Week in Geek.
Yeah.
And in the Week in Geek, we're going to talk about some other.
All right.
Yeah, there's some music.
It's an active, very active.
There's a
section.
guy back there like, oh, here's my time.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a couple of other geek culture topics with
Yeah.
you guys. Now, first thing to talk about, I was pretty excited to hear this news towards the end of today. We're fans of Axe Cop here on the show, I think, or at least I'm a fan of Axe Cop. Good news for fans of Axe Cop. It is going to be the first of Fox Television's animated programs that are going to play on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an animated Axe Cop that's
Rival.
hopefully going to play every week starting in the
What
fall.
time on Saturday?
11 to 12:30.
They're going down. Not really.
Are you a fan of Axe Cop? Have you read Axe Cop at all? No.
It's written by a
Know about it?
written by
No.
a 6-year-old. A 6-year-old tells his older brother, who's 29 now, but I have
30,
the age is
yeah.
wrong. Because he started when he was 6, and the older brother writes it down, and then it's become this big webcomic sensation, and now a
cool.
TV show.
Yeah. Another piece of news. There's a little bit of spoilers for an issue that's coming out tomorrow, but hey, USA Today already put it out there, and this episode is going to play for a while anyway, so let's put it out there. Battle Scars number 6 tomorrow, coming from Marvel Comics. I don't know how much you can speak to this, but over the course of this series, there's a guy who named Marcus Johnson who's turned out to be Nick Fury's son. He lost his eye, and in the last issue, he'll be shaving his head and growing a goatee, so he kind of looks like Sam Jackson from the movies. The bigger news is his friend, who's nicknamed Cheese, it turns out to actually be named Agent Coulson. So Agent Coulson and the new Nick Fury are going to be in the main Marvel continuity.
He's coming into comics, yeah. We're bringing that movie continuity. The week of the Avengers, we're bringing that into the comics. So Coulson will be around. Nick Fury will look like the movie now. So people that come from the movie will have a little more ability to recognize the character.
Now, when you do something like that, I mean, I understand the utility of it. Are you concerned at all about fan backlash being like, oh, come on, you're
The
forcing
fans
it?
backlash when we publish any comic, so we can't really depend on. Yeah, yeah. People are mad that we're
backlash.
publishing the books in the first place. All we can do is do it as good as
fuck is this?
possible. Yeah, I bought this. What the hell?
There's a new one? Fuck you.
It used to be better. It used to be better.
What the hell is this? They just walk into comic book shops and go, no!
And it's not just the fans. The editors are the same way. I mean, we're very competitive about our comics, and any book coming out of another office, I'm sure that I could edit better than the people do.
Yeah. Nice baller.
Last little thing we could talk about. This was news that came out of DC Comics. This has been rumored for a while, but in September, they're going to be adding in 0 issues for all their comics, replacing the regular after the 12th issues. These are going to go back, show what happened before the first issues of the New 52, before they move on with issue 13. I don't know if you guys can hear the audience if you're listening or watching at home. They're super excited about this.
They're groaning.
So what's the point of doing that?
They
What's
would have done
point
the
of
same
that?
thing if they had announced they're just publishing the next issue. Everybody would have grown.
But what's the
You're a little
But
jaded.
no, what is the, I don't understand that. Why would you do that?
Exactly.
It's hopefully after 12 issues to be new reader friendly. Get people back who are like, oh, I don't want to read 12 issues, but I will read a 0 issue.
Well, and also
Why does it make? Well, I don't understand. But to get you like excited to be like, whoa, how did that start?
because number 1 issues sell like so much more than regular issues than a regular other number, and 0 is very close to 1.
Okay.
So it's sort of like the next best.
So
thing.
what is the guy? Who are the guy? Batman's fighting the night. What is the
Night of the Owls.
Owls. So it would be
Yeah.
like the 0 would be like owls, like just hanging out.
There'll be eggs.
Yeah.
Eggs.
It's like-
hanging out in his kid like in one of the kitchen thing. Like, oh, man, maybe we should start some shit.
It's like backstage before actors do something.
Yeah,
They're
it's
always
like,
oh, this
maybe
is
we
great.
should like I don't know, like fuck with Batman. You want to fuck with Batman? Yeah,
Who do you want to fuck with?
Batman,
Aquaman?
right?
He's an idiot.
I don't know. Let's fuck with Batman.
Yeah.
I'm curious, do you think that the Zero Issue Initiative is any different than what Marvel is doing with Point One, or does it
Yeah,
fill
it
the
is.
same
Yeah,
purpose?
I mean, Marvel. The Point One books are also jumping on points, but they take place now,
Play it cool.
and we're not doing it across the line.
And people have always loved decimal points way much more than the numbers.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you
Look at
tell.
all-
Got point two.
Look at all the decimal points in the world.
Yeah.
Look at all the decimal numbers.
Great point. There's so many. Money. All sorts of money has those.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think
I love money.
Yeah, see? You'll love these Marvel books.
It's a
Did
way
you
to
do
get-
a 13.4
it's a way to get people to try out your books. I don't think it's any different than anything that you do to try to get people to come on. So I'm probably a little less critical than you.
That's true about
Touche, sir. Touche.
And that's it for the Week in Geek. All right, couple of things before we go. Next week on the show, we're going to have comedian Chris Gethard is going to be here. We've had him there before, so that should be pretty exciting. Also, if you are watching online, please subscribe, youtube.com/Nerdist. If you're listening at home, go to youtube.com/Nerdist and subscribe to the audio podcast and video stuff there. Pete, what else should people check out?
Friend us on Facebook so you get to hear about all the amazing guests we have on the show. Justin.
Follow us on Twitter at @comicbooklive.
Great. Check us out
Nailed
at
it.
comicbookclublive.com, also on nerdist.com for the audio podcast and more. A couple of people we want to thank before we go. We want to thank Steve for being on the show. Bill. Man. We want to thank Broadway Video, Midtown Comics, Pianos, Nerdist, but most of all, we want to thank you guys. We're here every Tuesday night at Pianos. Please tell your friends. Good night.